What is going on, guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. Now, before we get started today, I wanted to take a minute to formally introduce you to my friends at Wondershare and their video editing software called Filmora. Filmora is the best video editing software for beginners, especially those of you who have a YouTube channel, who are thinking about starting one. I wish I had something like this when I was first starting. Click the link down in the description to go download it for free. It works on Mac, it works on Windows, and with over 50 million happy users, there's really no reason for you not to. If you've never edited a video a day in your life, you'd still easily be able to learn this stuff. And on top of the video editing software, they have some free downloadable effects for the seasons, for holidays, for birthdays, just to give that little extra flair to take your finalized video over the top. So guys, like I said, click the link down in the description to go download the stuff for free. It helps me out, it helps Wondershare out, so go show them some love. So guys, if you have been around for any amount of time, you guys might know that one of my favorite things to do on the channel are the Thanksgiving leftover hacks. This is the third year in a row we're doing this. In the past, I've done stuff like mashed potato croquettes, like turkey ramen bowls, turkey and beer pickled jalapeno nachos, some weird but really delicious stuff. And hopefully today will be no exception to those rules. I'm gonna be making some classic poutine from Tasty's YouTube channel to repurpose our gravy, and then a Thanksgiving pizza of sorts to reuse some of our turkey and the cranberry sauce. As I'm sure all of you know, anything involving pizza is a firm yes from me, so let's get right into it. So first up, we're trying out Tasty's classic poutine recipe video, even though it caused much hysteria in their comments. I took a lot of that into account, and it would be really useful to repurpose your day-old gravy on the day you're watching this video, but unfortunately, I'm filming this before Thanksgiving, so we're gonna have to make our own. First, you have to start with your potatoes, though. I'm really happy to see we're not using any frozen or store-bought types of French fries. We're making our own with some russet potatoes that I washed a little bit earlier. I tried my best to cut these into even fry shapes, but as we all know, sometimes my best is still below average. I want to start doing that more often. I know how all of your little brains work and how badly you want to go run down to the comments and hate on me, so I'm gonna say it first. Self-deprecation for the win. Anyways, once I had my potatoes chopped up and in a bowl along with some olive oil, salt, and pepper, one by one, I carefully laid them out on a cookie sheet that I lined with parchment paper. Make sure it's parchment paper and not tin foil or wax paper, so we don't have a repeat of the first ever Thanksgiving I had on this channel. And after about 30 minutes of baking those, they look nice and browned and crispy. So we're gonna start with the gravy. Like I said, the whole purpose of this was to repurpose your Thanksgiving gravy. So it doesn't really matter the ratios or the measurements that I'm using here. If you are interested, the link to Tasty's video is down in the description. For the sake of time on my video, I'm not gonna get into it. I will tell you, by the end of this, it was smelling and tasting really delicious though. I was pleasantly surprised. And lastly, out of the three main ingredients for a classic poutine, some people might call this the most important ingredient in the poutine, the cheese curds. So I went to the store and got some delicious organic cheese. Listen, I went to 3 different grocery stores within 20 minutes of my house. I could not find cheese curds. I looked up on the internet the closest thing, which is some low moisture mozzarella. And when you chop these up, don't lie, these kind of look like cheese curds, and hopefully they'll act the same as well. The only real option here was to order some like freeze-dried cheese curds on Amazon or something, which would have taken a number of days to get here, and I don't have time for that right now. I kept my gravy nice and boiling hot so that when I poured it over my fries and my cheese, it would hopefully melt it a little bit. It's looking delicious and I want to eat this right now, but unfortunately we have to make some pizza first. For step number 1, I got everybody's favorite thing out of the way, which is the prep work. I chopped up my red onion into some thin strips, I chopped up my fresh cilantro, which is gonna be the garnish after we finish baking this. And then we got to the pizza sauce, and instead of using a normal tomato sauce, we're gonna combine 3/4 of a cup of some jellied cranberry sauce with a few tablespoons of barbecue. This looks kind of gross. I don't think I would ever have thought to combine these ingredients. Excuse me if I'm wrong, but I know some ratio of cranberry and ketchup is a sauce for some meatballs, so maybe this is close enough. Now the last and most important ingredient for this is the leftover turkey. That's what you have the most of. And unfortunately, we don't have anything that we haven't cooked yet. Last year I got lucky and my dad was grilling chicken for the family that day. That did not happen this year, so I had to bake some of my own chicken. I seasoned it with salt, pepper, garlic, onion, some really basic stuff. I popped it in the oven for an hour. Really, it should be like 3 or 4 hours in order to get this as dry as turkey normally is. Ew. I did not do that. I cooked my chicken normally and it shredded up beautifully. And the very last thing I had to do was just shred up some mozzarella cheese and we are ready to throw all of our pizza ingredients together. I started by stretching out my pound of pizza dough with plenty of flour. I let this come to room temperature before I even tried to work with it. You will learn really quickly if you try to use cold pizza dough. It's not your friend. It doesn't want to work with you. But this one's looking pretty good, so I slathered on my cranberry pizza mix. This looks even grosser when you spread it out because you could see all the chunks of the jellied cranberry that I didn't mix. Ugh. I gave it a healthy portion of my mozzarella cheese to cover up what may or may not be gross. We will find out. And then I just finished it off with a bunch of my shredded up turkey chicken and some of my red onion. Now that I think about it, this is really close to any barbecue pizza you'd buy, minus the turkey and the cranberry, but it still should be good. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it has been years, but ya boy got a pizza stone. I left that in my 450-degree oven for a half hour to get nice and hot, to have some bottom heat so my crust hopefully gets nice and brown and crunchy at the bottom. And after about 15 minutes in the oven, the top was at least looking pretty good, so I took the whole stone out. I chopped it up right on there, and with the slice I'm gonna try, I garnished it with a little bit of cilantro. Finally, we can try out our 2 dishes. Now, I'm a noob here. I have never had poutine. I've never had a combination like this. So all my Canadians out there, let me know if this looks even a little bit close to what you eat. I'll tell you that I love fried cheese curds from Buffalo Wild Wings, A&W, that stuff's delicious. So I'm sure this can't be bad. I've never eaten french fries with a fork before. That's so good. I wonder who the first person to think of this combination was. Like, let's put some chunks of cheese with some gravy and french fries. That'll be delicious, and he was right. I'm sure also that a proper gravy with some drippings from the turkey in it would be even better than this. But this alone is still really good, so I'll give it like an 8.5 out of 10. And now for this thing, which I'm a little more nervous about. Cranberry, which is really sweet on pizza. I don't know. This is delicious. What in the world? This is so good. The sweetness from the cranberry works so well with the barbecue sauce and the onion and the chicken. This is, oh my God. This is why I look forward to doing these videos every year, people. And this might just be the best recipe we've done out of any of the years. This is so good. If you have some pizza dough in your fridge or you want to whip some up really quick and you have mozzarella cheese, I highly recommend you try this. This gets a 10. Wow. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, leave me a big like. Follow me on Twitter and on Instagram. If you haven't checked my merch out, I gotta plug it. It's down in the description along with all the other links I told you to click on today. I hope you have an awesome weekend and I'll see you right back here next time. Peace!